Good morning, YouTubers. Micro Map here, bringing you another video. This one will be a longer video. Having my little cafecito here on a beautiful Saturday morning here in Miami, Florida. The cold front is gone. Let me put my coffee down. I got my notes here. Yeah, the cold front is gone and beautiful. Looking forward to a beautiful Saturday. So let's get into it on this week. Basically, I always want to start off with family and friends and health, most important things in our life. So I got news that my uncle, my dad's brother, has a tumor in his pancreas, and we're praying for him, and hopefully everything is okay. I got to see Pops in the hospital. He has Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. He's 74, so prayers for Pops. He was there and he's rehabbing. I'm gonna go see him a little bit later today, spend some time with him. And on the good front, the kiddo got a new job. She got notified yesterday, and looking forward to that. Sorry if you hear the background noise, they're cutting grass or something. I'm doing the video here in the outdoors so you can see the greenery and stuff like that. And on the guardianship front, my sister and I officially got the paper for the guardianship of my grandmother. It's been a legal battle for a year. So that hasn't been fun, but we finally got that out of the way. So blessings to you and your families and your health. That's the most important thing. Sebring, probably head out to Sebring Thanksgiving weekend, I think, because my daughter's gonna head up to Gainesville to be with her boyfriend. So I'll probably head up there for Thanksgiving weekend and the long weekend, spend some time in Sebring cleaning the garage. And I hope you chime in and look at my journey, and I'll be posting some more videos on that fun stuff. I like it over there. It's a small town, so I look forward to that. So let's get into it. For the new subscribers, one of my this channel is about side hustles, my journey between Miami and Sebring, my job, which I'm a wholesaler in the car market, and my passion is trading. So if those are things that you like, definitely subscribe and follow. Let me start with YouTube. It's one of my side hustles. Tejas sent me a message to do a long video. Well, here's a long video, Tejas. I hope you enjoy it. And I got a lot of likes this week and a lot of comments, and the channel is growing exponentially. It's incredible. I'm almost at 600 subs, and the views and engagement have been really doing well. So thank you all. On the JOB front, so I will touching on YouTube. If your aspirations to have a YouTube channel, do a lot of shorts. I'm doing a lot of shorts, and then I'll do a longer video once a week for sure on the weekend. And if time permits, I'll do another one within the week. But in the meantime, I'm concentrating on the shorts to grow the channel. And if you aspire to have a YouTube channel, do the same thing. A lot of shorts on your passion or whatever your expertise is, and go for it. And I think that I'm heading in the right path, and I want to grow my digital real estate footprint on YouTube. Not only for me, but my daughter will have an archive of my videos tomorrow. It'll be there. It's my favorite platform. And if I get to monetize it, great. And if I get to help others, even better. So that's the update on the YouTube front. And thank you for all the likes and comments. On the JOB is not the same. AI is changing the world. If you're not using AI, you need to be using AI. I was skeptical. I always get that word wrong. Suspicious, sus on AI, but I use it every single day. I use ChatGPT. It helps me with my eBay. It helps me with my YouTube. It helps me with everything. So I really think that AI is here to stay. Will there be winners and losers in the market? Sure, there will be. Just like in the .com bubble. So make sure you're implementing AI in your life. So AI is affecting my JOB, I think. And I'll read you some stats on the JOB. Just so you get an idea. Last year I sold 4,720 cars, approximately 400 a month. This year I'm at 28, 26, averaging 235. And this is not a micro map hustle issue, because I have no problem hustling. I'm juggling like 4 or 5 balls right now to make ends meet. But whatever, it is what it is. That's what we have to do. Can't quit, which I did a video yesterday. Yesterday was a horrible morning. I talked about quitting and moving forward. Ended up being a great day. So just have to have that positive mindset, which sometimes we, and I'm a victim of this, tend to be a pessimism. So like that, and I shouldn't be. And those are things that we need to realize and work on to better ourselves. When you're pessimism and things don't go your way, you're not disappointed because you expect that bad thing to happen. But when you're an optimist and that bad thing happens, you tend to be more disappointed. But whatever, I'm going on off course, but just to let you know. So here are some of the numbers. So this month right now I'm at 60 cars, which is well below the 400 I usually do on a month-to-month average that I did last year. And this year I'm only averaging 235. So it's even below my year-to-date average. In July I did 317. In August I did 75. September 87. October 119. And this month I'm at 60. I'm just praying that I can maybe get a bump up to 150, because that's where the quota gets good. But I'm definitely concentrating on side hustles as well, because you control your own destiny. Let me read you some car news. I printed some information on car news. So new car inventory is rising. According to Cadridge, U.S. dealerships held about 2.8 million new vehicles in stock in October of 25. The increase is attributed to weaker demand, economic uncertainty, and price pressures, and more vehicle availability. I think I saw a stat that new cars are up to 50,000. Just so the TY, how funny. That new cars are up to $50,000 average. Why this matters for you. Inventory is building up usually means better negotiation leverage for buyers. Good for you, personal side. Well, it's AI is telling me, but whatever. On a buyer's front, it's better for you. For the broader economy, rising inventory may hint at demand softening. If vehicle purchase slow, consumer spending or credit risk in auto finance could be can be early flags. Used vehicle inventory is also climbing, but sales are holding steady. And I think that has to do with the cost of new cars. So Cox Automotive reports that as of early of November 25, used car inventory was at 2.26 million, the highest in 2025 so far. Day supply sits at 48 days. So I made a video that the supply of days was rising, and cars are taking longer to sell on their lot. Airplane going over. Average price $26,000. Elevated used inventory and relatively stable price suggests used car market is not collapsing yet, but could be vulnerable if demand drops further. I'm seeing that at work. EV market affordability, even though we have our cars overpriced. So EV market affordability incentives are under pressure. An article from Wired outlines the challenge of reaching the 15,000 EV threshold in the U.S. The expiration of the $7,500 federal EV tax credit has already started weighing on EV affordability. Why? Let's see here. Investment angle. Automakers that bet aggressively on EV growth may face margin pressure. If uptake is slower, residual values of early EVs may also become a risk factor. So the tax credits went away on used and new EVs. Europe used car market is fragile and automaker job cuts are looming. According to Auto Vista, the European used car market is balanced on a knife edge as 2025 draws to a close. Job cuts and cost pressure at automakers Nissan in response to weaker demand and structural shifts. Why it matters. Let's see here. Global auto markets are interconnected. European weakness can bleed into global supply chains, component demand, and OEM profitability from macro lens. If Europe slows, automakers or part suppliers with exposure may be impacted. So that's the recap on cars on the JOB. Hopefully I didn't put you to sleep on that little news. On the side hustles, let's get into the side hustles. eBay and Facebook, I didn't get the, I wanted to show you the doorknob I sold, and they do very well, but regardless. On the eBay hustle and Facebook, this week I did about 170 bucks. Last week, and the week before, I think I did over 300. So a little bit slower on that front. I did sell a lot of TY's comic books and Pokemon cards. On Marketplace, I sold a cargo cover and a used tire. And in the last, yesterday, I sold and they sell very well. I wish I would have had one. Brass doorknobs for the inside the house. My father-in-law had like 6 or 7. I had placed one for like 10 bucks. It sold right away. I was like, So then the next one had a lock on it. It was a different but same kind of style. I put it for 30 and it sold like quick. So I was like, what the hell? I got like 3 or 4 more I got a list. So I sold that. I sold the oil wrench, and my wife sold a brand new brush. So that was pretty much the eBay and Facebook Marketplace side hustle. I still got to post some more stuff, but I don't really have a lot more stuff. Hopefully when I go to Sebring, I find more stuff up there to post. And I still haven't done anything with those medallions that I did a short on. I have to do more research on them. Or maybe just put them on Facebook and price them a lot higher. I don't know, but I need to do that. The pickup truck, the Red Bomber. I call it Red Bomber, the 2005 Toyota Tundra. The Red Bomber's there. I still have the antique furniture there that I have to clean with my wife and post on Marketplace. And I also have the teak furniture, which I ordered the supplies online to get it refurbished. I'm going to refurbish that teak furniture. And I have the cushions there. So that's a project. I picked those up for free, and I have them there. And I look forward to refurbishing them and bringing you a video and showing you how they look. That's going to take some time and some work, but they're free and they're there. So I'll work on that. And I did get that Christmas tree. My wife is going to work on it. So thank you, David and Diana, on the comments on the Christmas tree. Yeah, it's a free Christmas tree. I hit it with the leaf blower, and my wife is going to fix the branches, make it look more plush, and put maybe some lights on it and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm gonna take it to Sebring or keep it here. Sorry, a truck passed by. So my strategy with the pickup truck this weekend, I might hop in and see Pops and then drive around with the wifey and look for goodies on the weekend. I think that's a good strategy. And I think I might even start up tomorrow and head over to the Coral Gables area. Maybe go to the high-end area and see if there's some goodies in that area. You never know. Maybe rich people throwing away good stuff. So that's my strategy on that. On the trading front, now that's my passion, and I'm going to be sincere. Trading went well. My accounts did well. They blew out my JOB. They blew out side hustles. And I'm going to stay humble and kind of not give you dollar amounts, but I did very well trading this week. And that's what I like to do. I did 77 trades this week. Yes, 77 trades. My regular account was at 2.4% on the week. And my IRA, which I don't even trade, was up 4.6% basically. 4.59. Basically 4.6. This week. Incredible. In my IRA, Roth IRA, I have minors, GDX and GDXJ, pretty much split down the middle on the number of shares. I took a dollar amount and I split it on both of them. And the market is rotating into these minors. Couple comments on the trading this week. Michael, yeah, Bitcoin was down big this week, about over 8%. I did some put credit spreads in Ether and Bitcoin. So thanks for the comment, Michael. XX asked me questions on spreads. I hope I answered your question on the spreads. I do a lot of spreads, dollar wide, $2.50 wide, or $5 wide, and I always try and collect a third of the width of the spread. I hope you understand that. And Stacking Surfer, yes sir. Keep on accumulating the silver. Yeah, the poor man's gold. Yeah, why not? I love that asset. And that asset is overperforming. I have charts here. I have weekly and I'll talk on asset classes a second. I won't bog you down with all the stats, and then I want to get into a little bit of macro news and end it. But on the week, even though silver was up and down, it was up over 4.5%. I'm not going to talk about sugar because sugar is very hard to trade. Natural gas was up 4.5%. Gasoline was up over 3%. Ethanol was up almost 3%. The euro, the Euro stock 50 was up 2%. So international, I have my funds in my 401k heavily in international. That Europe did well. Gold was up almost 2% and it was volatile. And it's funny, the metals were volatile this week, but gold is over 4,000 and silver is over 50. I mean, they're holding strong. And the crypto space is under pressure. And there might be money leaving that space and going into these hard assets that really exist. And, I'm not saying that, whatever, to each his own. I'm just telling you where the opportunities lie and where money's moving. And that's what it looks like. I'm not going to bog you down with the less gainers. Biggest loser on the week was cocoa, but we don't trade cocoa. Bitcoin. Bitcoin was down 8.6 on the week. Yeah. Coffee was down a little bit. We had tariff news on bananas, meats, and coffee from the administration to lower those prices. That's the weekly performance. Let's talk about year to date because this year is almost over. Let's talk about the year to date performances of some of these assets as we get closer to Thanksgiving and the holidays and the New Year. And the year's a wrap. So we're almost here. And we usually get Santa Claus rallies at the end of the year. We'll see what happens this year. I think it will happen. It usually does. Silver's up this year 64%, folks. 64%. You could look at my channel. You could look at my older videos. I love silver. I've been buying silver since under $20. Platinum 60% plus. Palladium 46 plus. Gold 32%. Those are amazing returns. All four precious metals are on the top of the year-to-date charts. Then you have Nikkei up 27%, foreign market. Coffee, I'm not going to talk about, but coffee's there. Heating oil, 22%. Cattle, 20%. Live cattle, 20%. Soybean oil, 18%. Copper, another metal. Euro stock, another international market. DAX, which is Germany, 15%. And then come the U.S. markets. You have the NASDAQ at 14 and the S&P at 15. And then we have some currencies that are outperforming the dollar because the dollar has rolled over. Worst performing are orange juice, cocoa, rough rice, lumber, volatility, sugar, wheat, cotton, corn. So a lot of the ag stuff is down year to date. Some economic news, and I'll end it on that for the week. From what I saw out there in the marketplace, the markets turned defensive amid tech sell-off and China worries. Global equity market slid as major tech stocks plunged. Nvidia dropped 3.6% after a large stake sale in SoftBank. Well, I did a put credit spread in Nvidia, and I had to roll it because it was in the money. At the same time, China reported a 1.7 drop in fixed asset investment, adding concerns of a slowdown in its economy. Didn't really get a lot of information on jobs, but I know Verizon fired a lot of folks. CEO of Walmart walked away, CEO of CarMax walked away, And every day we're hearing a lot of layoffs. For trading options, high growth tech stocks showed elevated risk. We like that because that's higher premiums. So, IV has exploded in those names. So, yeah. China, that adds to global growth concerns. And that may tilt markets toward defensive commodities, energy value, which I've been preaching. Gold miners, risk off moves, boost safe haven, could be a tailwind. We're there already. I've been there. So make sure you look at those sectors. U.S. data blackout after lengthy government shutdown. So the government was shut down for 43 days and it interrupted data on jobs, report, CPI, and GDP. So hopefully we get some of those reports here shortly. Upcoming flash PMI data could steer central bank decisions. So the central banks, the Federal Reserve is going back and forth if they should cut rates. And that's been one of the key components. That's the main thing. I want to stress something here while I end this video on Wall Street and Main Street. Two different worlds. Main Street is suffering. Let's be realistic. And Wall Street is always prospering. That's the fact. The reason I love what I do is because you don't need a lot of capital, folks. If you have $500, $100, $1,000, you can make it happen. Start small, trade often. That's my motto. And I do a lot of trades because the more trades you have, the better opportunities you have. It's a bigger data set. I hope you understand that. And if you don't, I'll try and, as I bring and record more of my journey going forward, I'll try and put those notes in there and explain a little bit more on my thought process and my trades. But there's a lot of information out there. Tasty Work has a lot of data and information visually or audio on where you can learn, and so does TD Network. And if you don't know how to trade options, I recommend you do, because you need very little capital to succeed, and it's a better ROI. And I have a lot of buying power, and I'm putting trades on and off, and I'm always looking for opportunities. So I hope that helps you and inspires you. If it's something you're passionate about, if you're just a passive investor, that's okay. No problem. Good for you. I mean, so it's whatever you like. You got to do what makes you happy. So don't, I just wanted to make sure you guys understand that. So we got to see what the Fed wants to do. Do they want to help the job market, or do they want to deal with inflation? Inflation is over their target. So, they cut while inflation was already over their target. But the job market can be teetering. So we'll see. That's definitely a big thing in the next couple of weeks that we need to look out for. It says here, analysis, we're watching the upcoming flash PMI releases for November across major economies, as this will offer near-term signals on business activity, inflation pressures, and therefore central bank policy direction. Inflation myth and reality cost of living commentary. I mean, I go to the store and inflation's out of hand, especially on groceries. It's ridiculous. But despite official inflation moderating, cost pressures remain. Electricity is crazy. Up 5%, services up 6% year on year. Political commentary intensifies around affordability crisis, which could drive policy response, fiscal stimulus, regulatory changes. Volatility. So what are the market implications? Volatility likely higher. We love that. We're traders. Rotation favoring value and defense. Energy, miners, materials could outperform growth in the near term. Align your precious metals focus. And that's that they're outperforming. They're still going to outperform. Gold went from, if I'm not mistaken, because I was young, I'm only 50. But in the, was it 70s? I want to say it was in the 70s. They had stagflation. And then in the 80s, Volcker had to bring in inflation. Interest rates went up to 20%. And gold went, I think, if I'm not mistaken, from $30 an ounce to $800 an ounce. If you do the math on that percentage, I did a video on that a while back when I was doing videos, I think 7 months ago. I think that equivalent to 50,000 gold today if those same numbers were to play out. That's crazy, but whatever. Broader macro uncertainty, so missing data and central bank caution is prudent. Perhaps reduce directional risk until clear data emerges. Maybe you want to hedge your portfolio. I'm going to stay the course because I know they're going to cut. That's what they always do. And they already did. They already cut. So, I mean, whatever. The policy pivot watch, if PMI or other data surprise, it could trigger sharp repositioning. This is a good trigger point for basically talking more about the metals. But anyways, I'm not gonna go into my trades. I had the sheet here printed for my trades yesterday. But yeah, overall, a solid week for Micromep. I'm glad to bring you a long video. And if you stayed to the end, thank you for watching. And like, subscribe, share with anyone that may be interested in this. Keep the hustle going. God bless you, love you, and I'll see you in the next video.